Unmad, Divya
Transcendental madness.
Transcendental Madness, and in that he's tasting Unmadmay Chesta. He's doing some efforts like a madman. Unmadmay Chesta and Pralapmay Vakya. That means Pralapmay Vakya means incoherent talks. No link to another, like the previous talks, incoherent, totally random and anything. Pralap, that is called Pralap.
Pralap.
Pralap is Pralap. Incoherent talk. Okay. So, two things are being manifested here. Incoherent, mad-like efforts and Pralapmay words. So Mahaprabhu, so Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that this Mahaprabhu's bhavs, which are in Krishna's separation, they are very, very deep. And only a person with stable mind, he can understand these deep bhavs. And it is very difficult to understand them. And any person who will not understand how he can speak, there is no question of speaking. Only a person who can understand and speak, only that person can understand and speak to whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give his mercy. So he is mentioning this, that he has to empower that person to speak like that. In fact, I promised Brajnath Prabhu last year during Gaur Mandal Parikrama that I will speak on Gambhira Leela, but just 2 weeks ago I was just going through it and I thought it is too deep, I can't speak. But I could not revert and I had no time and I had to go on with this. So I thought it is, quite technical, but it's okay, whatever Gurudev wants. So all these Leelas, Shri Sarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami, they took in their karchas, in their short notes, and also Murari Gupta and Kavi Karnapur, they also took the karchas and they were staying in far off places. Shri Sarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami, they were staying in Jagannath Puri near Mahaprabhu. And so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is saying that if you listen to all these characters, this charitra, this pastimes with faith, then you will get these, you will understand them and you will get Krishna Prem Dhan. You will get that topmost attainment, Krishna Prem. Because he has mentioned the Sambandh, Abhiday and Prayojan. Sambandh is relationship with Krishna. Abhiday is the process, that is Krishna Bhakti. And Prayojan, that is the aim and object, is Krishna Prem. So three things he is mentioning: Krishna, Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Prem. Sambandh, Abhiday and Prayojan. Sambandh is with Krishna. Krishna is a gross word. Krishna means Krishna and his energy, Srimati Radhika, his parikar, his dham, his pastimes, everything. It's a gross labeling. And then Krishna Bhakti is a process, because we cannot go by karma marg or gyan marg or any yog marg. We can only get this by Krishna Bhakti marg. And Krishna Prem is the ultimate goal. That is how to love Krishna. In this world we are loving everyone. So we love our children, we love our house, we love our chandeliers, we love our fans, we love our cars, we love our utensils, we love our TV, fridge, our cell phones, laptops and all advanced things we have. We are all attached to them. But how to attain, how to get rid of this and get attached to Krishna? This is the prominent, thing to be attained. So we have to go get qualification to get that attainment. So Mahaprabhu was experiencing that separation mode from Srimati Radhika. Just like Srimati Radhika, when Krishna went to Mathura, Srimati Radhika, she was experiencing that pangs of separation. So that thing Mahaprabhu is tasting here. And just like when Srimati Radhika saw Uddhav in Uddhav Kyari in Braj Mandal near Nandagaon, and Srimati Radhika, she was talking to him oh, she thought Uddhav has come, that means some Brahmar, and she was talking, oh Brahmar, and she called that Brahmar Geet 10 tap of Prajal, she said. So Srimad Mahaprabhu, he is also tasting these kind of things. And then sometimes Mahaprabhu will think that I am Srimati Radhika. Sometimes he will think I am a Braj Gopi. And sometimes he will think I am a Sakhi, Lalita Vishakha or someone. So 3 types of bhav he is experiencing. Sometimes a Gopi, sometimes a Sakhi, or sometimes Srimati Radhika herself. So in Ujjwal Neelmani and Sai Bhav Prakaran, Divya Unmad, the symptoms are mentioned. Etasya mohanakhyasya gatim kamapyupeshu dhramabha kapi vechitri divya unmad iti yarate udgurna chitra jalpatas tat bheda bhavo mata. So it is said that there is a special bhav called Mohan. So in that there is Udgurna and Chitrajal. This is again very very technical Ujjwal Neelmani. I can't explain this so much, and this shloka also is very difficult. But we will proceed on to the next one. So the first in this chapter 14, the first point is Mahaprabhu's mind becomes yogi. From his mind he thinks I am a yogi, and he goes to Vrindavan, and his body is here in Nilachal. And so Mahaprabhu is doing alap. Alap, you understand? Again incoherent talking. Huh?
Incoherent.
Incoherent. Talking, just talking. No relationship and talking something not from this world.
Babbling.
Babbling.
Babbling is good.
Babbling is very good. Babble.
Not bubble, babble.
Babble. P-A-B-B-L-E.
Babbling.
Babbling. Okay, babbling, you understand it. So one day Mahaprabhu was sleeping in his Gambhira, and in the dream he saw Rasa Leela. Krishna was standing in Tribhang Lalit and he was playing flute. He had a pitambar on and a vanmala. His entire attire was Madan Mohan, that means enchanting the Cupid. And there were many gopis surrounding him in a round form, mandalaka, and they were dancing, and in the middle Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna, they were dancing. Dekhi Prabhu sei rase avishta haila, Vrindavane Krishna pailu, ei gyan haila. So when Mahaprabhu saw this Rasa Leela, he thought, in Vrindavan I found Krishna and he is dancing. So just then Govind, his personal servant, he came and he woke him up. Oh Mahaprabhu, get up, get up. And then Mahaprabhu, when he got up, then he thought his dream was lost. And so by his body, daily routine, habit, he took his bath and he went for Mangal Aarti to Jagannath Mandir, Jagannath temple. And he was standing behind the Garud stump. In Jagannath temple, there is a Garud stump, like a pillar on which Garuda is there. You know about it? In Jagannath temple, when Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are here, so far off at the end, there is a pillar, long pillar, very long. On that, Garud is sitting with folded hands. So Mahaprabhu went back behind the Garud stump that is called Garud stump, Garud pillar. He went behind that, and one Uriya lady, she came and she climbed on Mahaprabhu's shoulders and she climbed onto the Garud stump. And Govind, he wanted to forbid her, please don't do that, you are a lady and he is a sannyasi, don't do that. But that lady, she was so much excited to have the Jagannath Dev darshan. She couldn't hold herself. And Mahaprabhu forbade him. Don't forbid her, Govind. Let her go. And so it is said in commentary, Srila Prabhupada is saying, because Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written commentary that is called Amrit Prabha Bhashya. Amrit Prabha Bhashya. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has written Anubhashya. So in his commentary he's writing that when she climbed on Mahaprabhu's shoulders, that is Vaishnava Aparadh. And when she climbed on, no, that is Bhagavad Aparadh, because Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And when she climbed on Garud, that is Vaishnava Aparadh. So, and then another question can be asked, when Mahaprabhu, he gave up Haridas, Chota Haridas, because he begged alms from a lady, from Madhvi Devi, in whose house one young lady was staying, her maid servant probably. So Mahaprabhu gave him up, and despite all the Vaishnavas praying, oh please Mahaprabhu, please accept him as your devotee, and Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to see his face. And now this lady is coming and Mahaprabhu is allowing him to step on his shoulder and to climb on the Garud Stam. So how is this possible? So the reason is being given that when Mahaprabhu was standing behind the Garud Stamba, so now also near the Garud Stamb on the wall there are his 3 finger imprints, because they melted in ecstasy, in Mahabhav. And all his lotus feet melted, so that Shila, that stone on which his molten footprints are there, that is still lying in the Parikrama Marg. There's a temple, they built up a temple and that is lying there. And his fingerprints are there on the wall still, 3 fingerprints. And they're still there. And so Mahaprabhu could not, Mahaprabhu when he came to visit, to have darshan of Jagannath Dev, he was still in that Vrindavan Bhav, having darshan of Krishna in Rasa Leela. So he was not in external consciousness, because Mahaprabhu is he's always in 3 states. One is Bahya Dasha, when he's in external consciousness. One is Ardha Bahya Dasha, that means half external, half internal. And one is internal, Antardasha. So Mahaprabhu was in his Ardha Bhaya or maybe Antardasha, and he didn't know what I am doing. Just by practice he was coming, standing, and he was still lost in that Vrindavan, Krishna, Tribhang Lalit, playing Venu. He was still lost in that mood. And he was thinking that Tumi to Vigrah nahi, Tumi to Brajendra Nandan. You're not a Vigraha. You're not Jagannath. He was not seeing Jagannath, he was not seeing Baldev, he was not seeing Subhadra Devi. He was seeing Tribhang Lalit, Krishna is playing flute in Vrindavan near Yamuna Puli, near Yamuna shore. He was just seeing that. So he didn't have any external consciousness. So he didn't have consciousness about that lady climbing on his shoulders, and he was not in external. But after some time that lady realized, and she came down and she paid obeisances at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, and she asked for forgiveness, and Mahaprabhu said, oh, I want to just glorify you. You have so much darshan utkantha. You have so much eagerness for darshan of Jagannath Dev. I wish I had such utkantha for Jagannath Dev. So he said, I want to give my pranams to you. You are Vandaniya. Vandaniya? Sorry. You should be glorified.
Glorious.
Glorious. You are glorious, and I want to give my pranams to you because you have such eagerness which I don't have. Mahaprabhu is saying, I don't have eagerness, although he is always eager. So then and he did not see that this lady is a lady. He could not see because he was not in his external consciousness. And so Mahaprabhu is saying, Kurukshetra dekhi Krishna eche haile man kaha Kurukshet, Aila, kaha Vrindavan. So when he came in his external consciousness, he saw that lady in a female form, and he saw Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and he came in his external consciousness, and he said, "Oh, how did I come to Kurukshetra? Where is Vrindavan?" And he's saying, "Kurukshetra dekhi Krishna, eche haile man, kaha Kurukshetra, aila, kaha Vrindavan, prapta ratna haraila, eche vyagra haile, Vishan Haya Prabhu Nijabasa Aila." Mahaprabhu is saying, where is where I am seeing Krishna in Kurukshetra, so where is Vrindavan? And I found one beautiful gem, but I lost it. And so he was quite in Vishad, in a very grave mood. And he said, "Pailu Vrindavanath Punah Harailu." Oh, I found Vrindavanath and again lost him. And he said, "Ke more Nile Krishna kotha moi ailu." Oh, who took away my Krishna? And where have I come? So he's lamenting. And he came to his Gambhira, Govind and Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanan. They took him back to Gambhira. And when he came back to Gambhira, he is sitting on the floor, and there was earth on that floor, and he's scratching them with his nails, scratching them. So it is said this is also sign of Madanakhya Mahabhav, that a person will scratch with his nails, Bhumi Likhan, with his nails. And he was shedding tears, he was crying profusely, just like a Ganges water flowing from his eyes. And then he started dancing and singing, and by his body habits he took bath and he took his prasad. And when at night Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanan came, he told them his heart felt what he felt at heart. So he said that Mana Krishna Roop Dhan Prapt Kho. Oh, my mind found one treasure called Krishna, and then I lost him. And so he's saying that my mind is now leaving this body, and my mind has taken a dharma of Kapalik. Kapalik is a board.
The skull.
So yes, who takes skulls and all in hand.
Kind of
What is it called?
It's a kind of a
Exorcist, no.
skull.
Skull and all in hand.
Skull drink.
Bones.
Yes.
Kapalik.
Kapalik. It's like the yogis who,
Yogis and all.
but with the skulls.
Skulls and all.
Wow. Okay.
So, just like a yogi, Kapalik Dharma. And Yogi Dharma, and he's saying that my mind has become a yogi. And then someone may ask, who are your disciples? So Mahaprabhu is saying to Sarup Damodar and Rai Ramanan, the disciples are all my 10 senses. They are my disciples. And they will go to Vrindavan, and they have gone to Vrindavan. So then Prabhu Sarup Rai ke gole mein, so then Mahaprabhu is holding hands in Sarup Damodar and Rai Ramanan's neck, and he's saying, "Ha ha Hari Hari." And he's saying, "Oh Bandhav Rai Sarup, I'm just enchanted by Krishna's beauty. And my mind has lost all the lokadharma, the worldly dharma,
Occupation.
worldly occupation, worldly duties, and whatever consciousness we are in, and Veda dharma, that is the injunctions of the scriptures, and my mind has become like a yogi or a beggar." So beggars and yogis, what do? They wear a kundal in their ear, one kundal, conch shell. and they hold some kamandal in their hand, and they have one bag, jholi, on their shoulders, and they have one chadar, very shabby chadar, and they have they're always talking something, blah 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 blah. Yogis, oh do this, do that, bhiksham dehi, something something, and they have a dand, and they are wearing a turban on their head, and they have a very lean thin body, and they are speaking something. So what do all these things represent in Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is saying, in my ear I am wearing a conch shell kundal. That means a conch shell which is being designed by Shukdev Goswami. So that is the Srimad Bhagavatam, all the pastimes. So I am wearing those so that my ear, they can be always uttered in my ear, always constantly. And no other talks, no other Gramya Katha, no other Gramya. Huh? Huh?
Village talk.
Village talks, Gramya Katha, village talk. Gossip, any gossip, mundane gossips. No other mundane talk, only Srimad Bhagavatam. Only the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is what Mahaprabhu is aspiring. And he's saying that this jholi is, Kamandal is Krishna, the earnest desire to achieve, to get Krishna. And this jholi is the bag on the shoulders, that is Asha. Oh, where I will find Krishna? How I will find Krishna? And this Kantha Chadar is Chinta. How I am not finding Krishna? This anxiety. And this weak, lean thin body is because sometimes yogis, they will roll on the earth when they are dancing, singing, roll on the earth. And sometimes they will scratch their head on the walls. And they will always do pralap. Yogis, they always do pralap. Who are you? Where are you going? If somebody will ask, who are you? Where are you going? Oh yogi, where are you going? Who are you? So they will ask, ha ha Krishna, ha ha Krishna. No other answer. You will not say, oh I am this and this. I am Kishori Mohan, I am coming from USA, I am going to Jagannath Puri. Not like that. Ha ha Krishna, ha ha Krishna. That is their answers. And then they will say, Dand is Udveg Rupi Dand. And Pagdi is, turban is lobh, greed. How to attain Krishna. And his lean body is because he's begging alms. So sometimes they get alms, sometimes they don't get alms. So body is naturally lean and thin. Not like us getting 3 times a day, 5 times a day, 3 meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and 2 tea meals. And then also some fruit meals, some coconut water. So think what stage Mahaprabhu is in. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, we are like dwarfs. He's saying, I am a dwarf and I would want to attain a moon. So how is it possible? So low and so high. So Mahaprabhu's bhavs are very, very deep and very, very magnanimous. But still, because they are being written for us, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj has given this Chaitanya Charitamrita, so we have to go through it. So although, see, I am just taking this, it does not mean I have realization for them. I am also sailing in the same boat, I want to realize them. But by speaking, maybe by some tongue purification, my senses purification, one day I pray that they will manifest in my heart. And I pray for all of you also. Maybe some of you might have, I don't know. So this mind yogi, you can stop me whenever you want. It's finished. So I am not finished. Okay, tomorrow we can continue. Okay. So one little one, let me close. This mind yogi has 10 disciples. They are the 10 senses, and this mind yogi is called Mahabaul. Extremely mad. One is mad and one is Mahamad. Means greatest mad. greatest, topmost man.
Topmost madness.
And huh?
Topmost man.
Topmost man. So he's saying that I'm leaving this body and all my sense gratification, and I went to Vrindavan, my mind yogi. And in Vrindavan there is Thawar Jangam. Thawar means non-moving and Jangam means moving. So in all the trees and creepers in Vrindavan, they are like grahasthas. So they are any saint who comes to Vrindavan, they will feed him with fruits and flower and with some water, something. And he has taken all his 10 senses, and he's surviving that, he's maintaining their lives with that creeper fruit and all. And he's saying that so I'm surviving like that. So what sadhan he is doing, this yogi? So his sadhan is that in one corner of the guru he will sit and he will do yoga abhyas, that is meditating. And in meditation, whole night he will just not sleep, and he will just focus on Krishna's form. So he's saying that I will just experience the separation, the 10 stages of separation, and my mind yogi has gone to Vrindavan, and my body is here, and there is a vacuum here now. Nothing is here because everything has gone there to Vrindavan. So Srimati Radhika, she also experienced this 10 stages of Viraha. So these all were manifested in Srimad Mahaprabhu. Chinta, Jagar, Udveg, Tanavam, Maling, Angata, Pralapo, Vyadi, Unmado, Moho, Mrityu, Dasha, Dash. So all these things Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is experiencing, and after saying this, Mahaprabhu became silent, and Rai Ramanand, he spoke some verses, and Sarup Damodar, he sang some bhajans, Krishna Leela from Gita Govind, and Mahaprabhu came in external consciousness, and he went inside and he slept. And Rai Ramanand, he went to his house. There is Rai Ramanand Prabhu's house here near Jagannath Vallabh Vatika, and Sarup Damodar and Govind, they slept near the door of Gambhira, and Prabhu was chanting, Mahaprabhu was chanting whole night Harinam Sankirtan. So we close here, and tomorrow we will take the second and third part of chapter 14. I want some comments, any comments, and plus I want some comments because I don't know how far I am able